Now, I want to move to something that a lot of people really don't, I don't think, fully understand, and that is in Wilmington, we have some unique structures as compared to the rest of the state because we have these big, tall buildings.
Absolutely.
So can you give folks some insight into what kind of complications are involved when you live in
Absolutely.
a city with big buildings?
In the city of Wilmington, we have multiple high-rise office buildings, apartment buildings, mixed residential buildings. Those buildings, in and of themselves, require a unique, specific response from the Wilmington firefighters. We need to be able to get to the upper floors to fight the fire, but we also have to have a company that just pumps water into the standpipe to get that water up to the floors that the fire is on. And it could be multiple floors. And when you see any TV show or breaking news on any channel, and you see fire in multiple floors of an office building or a high-rise apartment building or a retirement community, that takes a specific number of firefighters just to be there. NFPA, which is the National Fire Protection Agency, they just came out with a standard on the minimum amount of people that need to be at a high-rise fire. That number is not even met right now by what is on duty in the city of Wilmington. So right now we're asking that, what we have is we can probably do it. Is it the safest? No. But I think that we, the firefighters, can do it and then rely on people getting called back in. If we have to have outside agencies from the volunteers come in to help us, that's one thing. But with the 5 engine companies, the squad company, and the 2 ladders, we can safely get started mitigating a major emergency in a high-rise. Now, we're going to need more. We're going to need help because we're going to get tired and we're going to get beat up. But to meet that NFPA standard, that's the ultimate goal. But if we don't, let us start with just what we have, and we're going to make a pretty darn good job.
Okay. Now, there's been a lot of talk for years and years and years. I was on city council many years ago, and one of the things I'm actually happiest about is I was the guy who brought thermal imaging cameras to the Wilmington Fire Department.
And I said thank you the other night when I saw you.
and that's probably one of the things that I'm most proud of, because I actually had to fight to get them, and I had to go to some extreme measures. But some things, they're worth fighting over. And what I understood was that new technology at that time made the firefighters' job safer, and
Absolutely.
it also increased the likelihood that the people who might be in the building could be saved. And it's kind of like, and when you looked at the cost of them, it's like, okay, we have to have these. So do we still use thermal imaging cameras, and have we upgraded them?
Thermal imaging cameras have been a wonderful breakthrough in the fire service. They have actually saved lives 100 times over. A thermal imaging camera, to just explain it, when you are in a dark, smoky, zero visibility atmosphere, this camera, which is small, I mean it's this big, you hold it and you scan a room and you can actually see things in that room, and it'll pick up the different temperatures, whether there's fire above you that you need to safely put out, or if there's a body in the corner that you need to go rescue, or if there is multiple, what on the camera will go completely white, that it's an atmosphere that you need to get out to save yourself. So the thermal imaging cameras, thank you, have helped firefighters and civilians for the city since you were there. So we can't thank you enough for getting those for us.
No, I was doing my job, and you guys need to have what you need, because you guys have the dangerous job. You guys have the dangerous job. I mean, I didn't been to school and learned how to do all kinds of things, but one thing that you're not going to find me doing is heading into the fire to fight the fire. So I have a lot of appreciation for folks that have that kind of courage, because it takes a special person to go toward the fire. And I appreciate you guys.
Oh, we thank you.
Now,
we thank you for your support. That support is what helps us do our job. If we're not afforded the opportunity to have everything we need to do our job properly, then that not only makes it dangerous for us, it makes it dangerous for the citizens of Wilmington. We are here, we put our lives on the line for the citizens. We're not here just to, be rogue heroes and run into burning buildings. We do it smartly. We do it safely. We do it in an order and a manner that is trained upon time after time after time.
It's a science. There's a science to fighting fires.
Yes, there is.
And the folks that are in the business of it, they understand that. You need the right personnel, you need the right equipment, and if you're missing any piece of the puzzle, that just makes the job all the more difficult, and sometimes it can make it impossible, but it also can make it very unsafe if you're missing a piece. There's a topic that has been discussed for years and years and years and years, and I want you to help the public to understand the issue. There's always this discussion about something called a rolling bypass and variations on that theme. And could you help the audience kind of understand what that's all about and any insights into whether that's a good thing or whether it's not a good thing? Could
Sure.
you help everybody
Absolutely.
understand that?
Rolling bypass is the practice of shutting an engine company down in a specific neighborhood on a rotational basis. So basically, you are taking that engine company and you're closing it down for the day for the purposes of saving money. Now, saving money doesn't save lives, because it's been proven time and time again that rolling bypass, when an engine is closed in that particular neighborhood, there could be an emergency in that neighborhood, whether it's a fire, whether it's a cardiac arrest, whether it's a child choking, whether it's, just when you call 911, it's an emergency for you, your family. So for that to happen, you need 911 for a specific emergency. And when that engine company is closed, it takes additional time to get someone there to mitigate your emergency. Now, when you need somebody, you want them there now. I've been unfortunately been, in emergency where I've had to call 911 for my own children, and it seems like forever. Well, when that engine company in your neighborhood's closed, it's twice as long. And that is not a safe practice. It's been proven by multiple agencies to be dangerous. The city of Philadelphia recently did a study under an organization that said that they called them rolling brownouts up there, were a dangerous practice. They got a new mayor. The new mayor said, yes, this is a dangerous practice, and they stopped them immediately. Now, here in the city of Wilmington, we've been rolling the dice with rolling bypass for a few years now, and it has shown to prove terrible results. Last February, I believe, the end of February, we were called to a house fire on Monroe Street. I happened to be working that day. I responded on the squad company with my 3 other firefighters, and the fire was greatly out of control. The closest engine company right up the street at 2nd and West was closed. So the delay in getting water onto that fire, fire doubles in intensity every minute. So when you have a little fire or you have a medium fire, it's going to get to that giant fire faster by not getting water on it faster. So we had a tragedy that day. We lost 2 little girls, and it was very tough to deal with then. And then again, September 24th, when we lost Chris, Jerry, and Artie, and Brad, speaking most severely injured, Engine 6, 3rd and Union, the closest engine company that night to the fire, was out of service on a budget cut. So it is proven here in the city of Wilmington twice in a year that it's deadly. It's a practice that the local 1590 will never support. We 100% are against it. We think it is a dangerous practice. It's proven time and time again, not just in fire situations, but even in emergency medical situations, that when you need someone there to help you, we need to get there fast.
I recall this issue coming up many times, and I'm opposed to that practice. That's one thing that I know. There's a lot of things that I don't know, but that's one thing that I do know. And you don't ask people to put their lives on the line and start playing around with variables that you can easily control. So I really don't like that concept of rolling bypass. That's something that I guess there'll be more discussion about in the future in the city of Wilmington, but it'll be clear what I have to say. I'm opposed to that.
Well, thank you for saying that.
That's not fair to you guys. It's not fair to you guys at all, and it's not fair to the community.
We appreciate your support.
Right.
Wholeheartedly.
Oh yeah, no question about that.
Thank you.
Now, there's some other issues, I guess, that you might be able to share with the community about the life of a firefighter. Are there any other hot button issues?
Well, there are some other great issues that I'd love to share about. Local 1590 gives back to the community, I would say more so than any other organization in the city. We have a fantastic Coats for Kids drive that we do all year long, but more, specifically in the winter months, where we actually raise money, go out, get coats from a group called Operation Warm, who provides us with brand new union-made coats that we take these coats out, whether we go to a bus stop, we go to a community center, we go to a school, and we give these coats to kids. And the rewarding part is, usually when we go, we bring our families with us, so that way our families see us giving back, and then the families in the community see us giving back. We're not just on the big red trucks every day. We like to get out in the community. We like to be a part of the community. We've done Thanksgiving drives where we actually go in and bring a full basket of a Thanksgiving meal plus enough to get you through the rest of the weeks with a turkey for you to have on Thanksgiving. We've done Christmas drives where we do the same thing. We give food to people that need it, and we go into their homes and we provide them with something that maybe will lift your spirit during a season where, if you don't have something, now we can provide you with something just to help you out as much as we can. And that comes out of our own pockets. Reverend Brad Martin, our chaplain on the fire department, comes around and he brings a sack and he nonchalantly puts it on the table and, walk away, and then he comes back and he just picks it up and it's full because we give money to him, and then he breaks it down and we go buy stuff. And we just love being able to help the citizens. We're there every day for bad things. So when we can turn around and come back to that same neighborhood that there was a fire or something, a shooting or something that impacted that community, if we can get back and help that specific community heal and know that the firefighters are there for you all the time, good and bad, and that's what we want to do. That's our mission.
Okay. As you mentioned mission, there's a 3-word phrase that I see repeatedly associated with the fire department. Does that ring a bell at all? Something to do with the mission or something?
If it's something that from the city side, I'm drawing a blank. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's something that just popped into my mind. Does it have to do with something with the people, or what's the goal, the objective when you go on a fire scene?
Everybody goes home.
Everybody goes home.
Everybody goes home.
Okay.
And that is a big thing.
All right.
When we start a shift in the morning, it's important to realize that I have your back, you have my back, because I'm not going to go home unless you go home. And, unfortunately, fire is a dangerous thing. And again, it's not just the fire. Our brothers and sisters in blue, the police, they're out there in a dangerous time right now where they are responding to more shootings, more stabbings, more just bad things that we can all turn around together as a city if we just get together and work to make things better.
Right, to reduce all of those types of incidents.
Yes.
Because they're not accidents.
They're not.
And so if it's not an accident, then something can be done about it.
Work together. We'll certainly go out in the city, any neighborhood, and do community outpouring. We have a fire inspector, Frank Mall, who is fantastic at doing community outreach. Goes into daycares, does education. We can work together with WPD. We can work together with city government. Just let's work together and let's make this city the best that we can.
Now, sometimes people will get help from the fire department, and then they will get upset sometimes because certain property was damaged. So what's the philosophy, if you will, about preserving property, but yet you're trying to fight a fire? So can you kind of help people understand? Because sometimes people seem to get upset, and it's like, well, wait a minute. Somebody just came and basically saved your life, and you're getting upset with them. It doesn't happen all the time, but every once in a while we'll hear somebody upset, like, why did they destroy my property?
A lot of times what we have to do is to put a fire out is go above the fire. Squirting water onto the fire will cause, obviously, the water to drop down. So one of the things that we do when we are adequately staffed is we try and stop any damage. We have tarps. We carry lots of tarps. And we'll have somebody just goes out there and throws tarps onto property downstairs to try and keep a sofa, a television, a family pet in a cage, something that is you can't get in there to right now because you're worrying about stopping the dangerous fire. But ultimately, we try and do it in a twofold manner where we try and get the smoke out, put the fire out, and save property. Now, there's never been a time in my 18 years where I've gone in and I've broken something because I wanted to. I go in, and if I have to break a window, it's because I need to get the smoke and heat out so I can find somebody, get that smoke and heat off of my back that's burning my back, or even just to hopefully lighten that smoke so I can look and see better in a fire. Even though the thermal imaging cameras work, a lot of times you have to use your own senses. And by breaking those windows or cutting a hole in a roof, that's getting that gas, that hot gas and smoke out. And it's not damaging your property that we want to do, but it's helping us mitigate that emergency.
Okay, well, we're going to go to a short break. I guess we can use the Hard Knock Life intro. And I hope you're enjoying learning about our Wilmington Fire Department and our Wilmington firefighters. The focus here today is allowing you to hear directly from a firefighter about the life of a firefighter. So we'll be right back after a short break.